go back to why I started working on myself. Because sometimes when you can show a man that he's endangering who he loves, he work on himself.
Everybody, welcome to Still Earth Holdings podcast. My name is Lily Adimefe, and with me I have a very special guest today.
My name is Dr. MacFoy, Tochukwu, but they call me Dr. Foy. Just Dr. Foy, chill, easy.
Welcome, thank you for joining us today. And you're here actually because I regard you as a kind of expert in this area. You've done a lot of work. You're an actual doctor, and then outside of your profession, I know you've done a lot of work around men's mental health. You're a big advocate for healthy living, soul, mind, body. And we're doing this because we are celebrating or commemorating International Men's Day.
That's good.
Which is November 19 every year.
It should be done more.
It definitely should be done more. Men definitely need a lot more voices when it comes to the issues that affect them. And our theme for the year is healthy men, healthy world.
I agree.
Of course, we're focusing on male suicide, though. That's a real big issue. I'd like to start by asking, for you, when did you first become aware of your mental health?
I'll say it started first in med school when we were under enormous pressure. Like, Nigerian med school was not funny because we had issues with licensing, it was enormous pressure. And so we started so I started checking out like mental, okay, why am I this way? Why am I feeling this way? Why? And then it became alive in marriage because now I'm with someone and I'm seeing that the fun, amazing, energetic Dr. Foy is crumbling in the house.
You can't run away.
I can't run away from this. So I started like deliberately checking out like what is wrong, and then I now had to work on it as a parent because I realized that 99% of mental health issues is from childhood adversity. 99% is
traumas from childhood.
Yes, it's like how 90% of lung cancer is from smoking. 90%. 90% of mental health is from childhood adversity. So I said, okay, you know what? I have to work on myself. And I have two daughters. And most of the issues with mental health for women is a lot based on the father.
Yes, the father's.
Yeah, so I had to just say, you know what, Foy, work on yourself. And it's a journey. It's not that I'm there, but I'm sharing my journey, I'm sharing my experiences.
That's amazing. I was going to ask if you did it for you or you did it for the girls, but then I realized that it's both ways because yes, how you show up is the factor of how well you've dealt with yourself in private, whether it's in your home, whether it's with your friends, or whether it's just friends in general. Studies generally, suggest that there's a big reluctance among men when it comes to mental health issues, whether it's awareness, whether it's acceptance that there's even an issue, and it's because there's this, I say, not stereotype per se, but then there's this perception that it's a weakness when men have to talk about their feelings or their emotions or things that, just are mental struggles. Men are supposed to be, just bastions of strength. We expect that men can take anything and should deal with anything. And especially in Africa, where, I don't know, they treat men like small gods, treat men like small gods, and in some religious circles even, men are revered sort of like God. As a man, or not even just as a man, as a person, how can we nurture a culture where men actively embrace and understand that their mental well-being, especially when it's not at the forefront, of every other person's conversations, kind of like how women are, Women's Day, women's rights, men don't talk, men don't really speak about these things, and when they do, they just want to talk about their games and whatnot. So how do we nurture a culture where these things are more prominent?
So I'll go back to why I started working on myself. Because sometimes when you can show a man that he's endangering who he loves, he will work on himself. It's about the consequence of not working on yourself. So if a man loves his family, he loves his kids, if we can show people that if you are more open to mental health, you're going to have a better family, better work-life balance, better kids, then we can...
We're not repeating cycles as well.
So that's the first step. I met a guy that I counsel who said he had 13, he had 13 crises in his finance, like 13 times lost money, but he didn't take advice once. I know somebody, he's a businessman, he had 13 financial issues. One to a point where he spent 2 days in the EFCC, but he didn't tell his wife once because...
He just bottled up.
He said because she can't take it. And I'm like, I don't know if that's right, if that is the truth or if that is...
Another perception.
But that is what we go through as men. Is that there's a perception that women can take
what you can.
What we can, that's one. Two, there's a perception that we would look weak and that leadership is about roaring and be strong, but not being vulnerable. Not being vulnerable. Then finally, I've seen men who shared, but what they got back was bad.
Still, I guess women who have this expectation that you are a man, be a man.
Yes, parents saying that
in my time,
this won't happen.
Yes,
so
that's
you're a weak boy. In my time, so when that happened, they shut down. The danger of that is that we are body and soul. Our emotions are attached to our immune system.
I have a question.
Yes.
Did our fathers lie? You know, when they'd come and say things like, be a man, in my time, I did. I mean, in their own way, they all had different, crises or tough times while they were young as well, and raising families or just trying to get by, earn a livelihood, and they survived. They dealt with these things. So, is it that did they really deal with these things, or they just coped, or they just replaced one vice with another, or they really actually were healthy enough to scale through?
I think globalization has changed the game for everybody. And I'll give you a very practical example. My dad and I had a conversation about NSAS, and I was challenging him that we are stronger than you. See how we went and marched, and he laughed. And he said no, that in my time, 80% of those who were in their 30s earned from the government, from customs, from paracetals, from Nigerian insurance, or maritime.
They were the biggest employers.
So if you go and shout, the government will shut you down. But you guys are globalized. You get money from UK,
VCs,
remote control, remote control.
Yeah.
So you can talk, your money is outside.
And we have more entrepreneurs now.
And it's a global world. Same thing here. In their time, all they knew was what they are. They were not exposed to the possibilities of the world. Now we are on Instagram, Facebook. We're seeing seeing potential possibilities. You can't unsee the reality of now. So two women then suppressed a lot. Let's be very real. I won't say it was feminism or not. That's not the conversation. But women there lived like just throw it. I take it. But now women are more exposed. There's more. So women are like, hey, no, I have a say. I'm not your helpmate just to iron your clothes and bear your children. It's a bit different. So the era has changed. We're globalized. We're seeing the world differently. People are exposed. So it's a different world, totally. And I'm careful to say that the world is pro-woman now. Whether it's bad or wrong, that's not the conversation.
It just is, right?
It just is right now, yeah. Because of the pains of the past. So right now, most men are looking for meaning. Because if in those days, providing gave you meaning, now your wife can bring ×2 to the table.
Exactly, she might be able to provide as well.
So what is meaning for you?
Yeah, and then your pedestal crumbles.
So you must rediscover meaning, rediscover your values.
You know that thing you said about women, there's this quote in Pidgin, they say, lean on me, no be press me, die. Like, I'm here to help you, but don't kill me with the pressure. And it's so true what she said. And at some point, we're going to discuss how gender imbalance, because that's what it is, whether you want to say it from the equality or equity standpoint, it's just imbalance really, and how that has maybe fed into this as well. But before that, I'd like for you to just speak a little to the audience and give us some education. How do societal expectations contribute to mental health challenges for men?
I think what most men don't say is that we are the worst at peer pressure. Most men don't say it, but yeah. And I'm a living testimony. So there's peer pressure of providing. There's also peer pressure of leadership. The truth is that sometimes women just say, should we go left, should we go right? Should we go left, should we go right? Should we go left, should we go right? So the society, and because I'm in the context of Nigeria,
yeah, especially
religion, with all due respect,
is a big factor.
Is a mess. Do you understand? Is a man. They say, I'm sorry to say this, but I'll say it. He's your protector, your provider, and your priest. Who is his own protector, provider, and priest?
Protecting the men. And who's providing for the men?
I say with all respect, not trying to. But sometimes he's not a priest, he's a sinner. Sometimes he's not a protector, he's going through hell. Sometimes he's not a provider, he has taken bad loans. Those things have put, and religion in Africa or Nigeria is part of our culture. So religion has done so much damage, peer pressure has done so much damage, and the final part is that men talk amongst themselves, but we don't address issues, we escape.
Wow.
So most men watch football to escape. Most men drink beer to escape. Because they say when you look at your life, you look down and you can be dizzy. It can take you out. So you just keep escaping.
Wow.
Yeah, but the problem with that is that, like I said, once you value things like your family, your wife, your children, work, you do not have to work towards that. The truth is, trauma are the bad things that happen to us, but also the good things that happen for us.
That didn't happen
for us. So most men handle disappointment differently. Women will talk.
Rant.
Most men will just
call out besties, our sisters.
Most men will just swallow. And disappointments are the good things that didn't happen for us. And there are a lot. There are a lot. Like, trust me, I've submitted many contracts, it didn't work. I don't swallow it. As I swallow it, my immune system is dropping, I'm escaping.
Stress.
Yes. So most men, I'm going to say this to damage men, but I'll say it. Most men escape through their children. They can't face their wives because their kids get love
unconditionally. Whether you got it, you didn't get it. My daddy is my daddy, right?
But wives know truths, wives know.
Because their expectations, their responsibilities, for them, your disappointment might also impact
the finance, So it's family, it's religion, it's corporate life.
Family, religion, corporate life. Would you say, you were saying something about how men escape, men don't really address the issues. Would you say, rather than passing down, and back to my initial question about how, whether our fathers lied or not, rather than passing strategies to deal with body, mind, soul, and stay healthy, we were passing down coping mechanisms.
Yeah, coffee, alcohol, football, yeah,
alcohol, smoking, maybe even women.
But the danger is that there's a consequence to that.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a cycle. So what I teach look at the consequence and see how you can mitigate gradually. Let
me take you back a little.
Yeah.
You said that you first became aware of your mental health when you were in med school.
Yeah.
At the time, do you think you were able to address it properly?
Not really. So
As a single man?
I coped. I was coping.
If you could go back now,
with
what you know, what would you do differently?
I would have convos with my father. I would have, because I think that I thought that my father made me do medicine. I thought he forced me to do medicine.
Oh, so that was part of the pressure,
yeah.
The expectation that this was what you had to study.
I had ADHD. So imagine a doctor that had attention issues. So I was always put in a pedestal that was unfair because most people are nerdy.
Who want to study medicine, right?
I'm not nerdy, I'm fun.
You're fun.
So it was not funny. It was hard. It wasn't It wasn't a joke. It was hard, but I coped just to survive. But that's not how you live life. Because if you cope, it's dangerous. One day you break down.
You break.
So I had love. Thankfully, I had people that were mentors. People like just people that helped me through it. I'll be sincere, but I would have had convos with my father. I would have put my foot down on some things. I said no. Like I would have put my foot down on some things. I would have, yeah.
Now let's see. Next question. What strategies have been effective in your experience or in your opinion? Have been effective in breaking down stigmas associated with men's mental health?
The best strategy I've noticed is community. And I'm going to just be honest, because Nigeria is a religious country, but it's not about, we're not religious.
We are.
We're religious.
I think we're still number one in the world.
In the world. Yes. So let's just, Islam,
let's own it.
Christian, we're religious. The best place to get it is in church or where you worship. I did a study with in university in one of my postgraduates, and the study was the mental efficacy of church. That church is for mental health, not for spirituality. That Africa uses church for mental health. You go on Sunday for at least one hope dose.
I totally agree. You know, I think I saw a study from HBR about how spiritual resilience, whatever faith you practice, is a very big part of most successful entrepreneurs' journeys. Like the top entrepreneurs.
So it's just part of it. So church helps mentally. Whether it's a fake pastor or a good pastor, that's not the conversation. Is that you go, there's hope, you will make it. It helps. Now, in that community of belief, you are drawn to men there because there's a soft family vibes there. So community is very key. Community is the first I've noticed. One. I would have said your wife, but most men don't know how to.
What if they're not married as well, right?
Okay, great, thank you.
Single,
so community.
Or,
it's community. The first thing is community. The second thing I would say, and I'm going to say it with, there's a word called emotional robustness. Emotional robustness is when you have great perspective, great self-talk. Some people have good self-talk. Some people actually can. I have friends that they will lose a job, they can't drink my soup first, drink beer.
Like let's take care of
those things.
Let's take care of the living.
Those things happen. My mom is one person that just has it. There'll be problem. She'll be like, I bet where's your day? Maybe just day. It's called, but that is developed by yourself. It's emotional robustness. It's when you understand.
It's like a muscle. You have to.
Yes, you build it.
Build it.
And it's built by living. When you've lost a job and you didn't die. Okay, I didn't die if the job lost. when COVID happened, I survived. Fraud is 1,508 or
593.
I still understand.
593 yesterday.
But it's built by perspective, by storytelling. But you tell yourself the stories. And so community friendship, emotional perspective. You can laugh at yourself.
Robustness, your internal dialogue.
Dialogues, good self-talk. Finally, I would say curating positive content. Most people
break that down.
Most people watch bad, like you're watching depressing things. You're watching like
you're not helping yourself.
Yeah, you're watching how a man committed suicide because he was tired of life. Why are you watching like curate positive content, like curate great music.
I mean, sorry guys, not that suicide is funny. It's just like I'm laughing because it feels like, you know, you're complaining of maybe an ulcer and you're just swallowing spoonfuls of pepper.
There's a genre called in the music space called Afro depression. There's a genre.
What?
It's called Afro depression. So there's Afro depression for real. Like people sing songs. You have to curate.
Lonely at the top, is that part of it?
I don't know. People are real deal. Like that is lonely at the top. But do you get the point? But like you have to curate your energy. The truth is that this study says that this era is the most fearful era ever on earth. The fear of war. I want to say this out there, but please, I'm just going to say it. People are afraid that COVID is coming back. There's a global fear. I travel to America, a lot of people are wearing their masks back.
Again.
Yes. There's a lot. So the world is, there's Hamas, but there's a lot of fear, money, salaries. AI is coming to take everybody's job. AI, recession. So you have to curate your energy, your content. That's your responsibility. Now I repeat, most people won't do this if they don't see the consequence of their actions. Like I said, it was my daughter, it was marriage and being a parent that made me sit up because I saw the consequence. I was coping in med school. I was coping, but I said, I can't cope through this one.
You have to bite the bullet.
You have to bite the bullet. You have to face it. You have to have the tough conversations. You have to go for therapy. You have to do, because of the consequence of me not.
Therapy. Let's talk about therapy.
Yeah.
Therapy in Nigeria. At some point, I remember it initially started, and it seemed really good. Like, oh wow, finally we're addressing these things that need to be addressed. People are having an outlet professionally. And then at some point, it became like everybody and their mother was a therapist.
Yeah.
I heard about someone who paid for a therapy session, and then the person just didn't seem to be professionally experienced, more spiritually adept at dealing with these cases. And the person felt like, I just needed, I know my faith. Well, that person was a Muslim or Christian. I know about my faith and I know all that, but then I needed someone to reach me from a professional angle, like things you were saying before we started. Like your oxytocin,
the hormones level.
Yeah. So being conscious of your biology, even and how your body reacts to different environments, experiences, moods, etc.
Lily, everybody's Japan. All the professionals are in Canada. All the professionals are in Canada. That's the honest truth. And I'm saying it. I'm saying what I'm saying. I have friends that are therapists. They're all in Canada, in the UK, in the US. They get paid better there. There's more depression there. There's more.
So there's a bigger market
for them there.
But is it really a bigger market? So in Nigeria, we're just really good at coping and suppressing.
No, we don't have people that can pay per hour here. Everybody's depressed. Everybody's suppressed. Everybody get the point.
From a public health perspective, then as a doctor or someone who's you're exposed to the professional aspect of this. Public health wise, how can the government respond to help more Nigerians?
I think that.
Because we have doctors leaving, not just in terms of the mental health space.
We're defeated. Like maybe 1 to 500,000 or 400,000 doctors. Is that
real drain?
It's brain drain. The truth is that my opinion would be that they will come back. They'll be jackpada. People will come back. We have to work on a lot of virtual healthcare programs.
Yes, telemedicine
has to happen. The Ministry of Health. I was leave Tinubu alone. And go to the Ministry of Health.
The president can do everything.
He can do, He appointed somebody
to do the job.
So the Ministry of Health, they have to understand that the Gen Z generation is the generation of this era. The median age of Nigeria is 19 years old. 64% of them are below 25 years old. Wow. So the young people are the ones.
They're running things, right?
Running things. And the problem is that they live on TikTok, on Instagram, on Facebook, and all those things. The danger out there is that your body and your soul can't exist virtually. It's a body and a soul. It's not a virtual body.
Yes.
It's not a meta body. It's not an A here. So it needs you have to have human needs. Cortisol, oxytocin, serotonin, dopamine, hormones that give you happiness, depression. They are hormones. They're not like cloud systems. They're not gigs and data. You don't have data. It's human. So it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. That's the honest truth. I don't think that we're there yet. I'm very sincere with you. But I think that my opinion is that Nigerians that have done well abroad, that have been able to make a name for themselves abroad, they have to come back and create systems. The truth is that we are in a golden age. Technology has leveled everybody up. We can leapfrog as a country. AI is coming. We have unicorns in fintech. We're about to build in agriculture. But you don't want a depressed generation. You don't want young people that are doing well but depressed. So if they can come back, virtual things, and speaking their language. For example, the tech community, they're the most depressed. Most people don't even know because they are always coding. I'm going to say publicly, they are the most in the corporate world. They smoke the most weed.
They're the most drug dependent.
Yeah, drug dependent because almost at par with men. It's creative. Music is creative, but so this is corporate. Like they're coding. They're trying to get. So it's a new era. It's a new generation. You must talk to them differently. You must address them differently. Yeah, that's it.
So Yaba left cannot contain all these cases.
Yaba left.
He can't do the work.
Has left.
Has left the chat. Really overburdened, and at this point,
and it's a lot
for companies. Yeah, the corporate world, which you just talked about. What initiatives can they implement to support mental health for men?
HR has to become more than HR. That's the truth. HR has to become not human resource, maybe life resource. Make it LR.
Wow.
Yeah, because we've brought in work into our lives, into our homes. We've brought in work into our families.
Virtual work.
We've brought so it's life resource. So it's no more human. It has to change the whole. HR has to change. HR has to. That's number one. Number two is that people have to now have KPIs about. The truth is that if a man is depressed, you'll be in trouble.
It will get me so
one day your company laptop will just like
maybe a casualty.
Casualty. Because someone told me that really hurt me. He said that whenever, and I'm putting out there, they say whenever they want to hire, whenever a CEO wants to resign, they don't hire the head HR as the next in line. They hire the head finance usually because truth be told, it's about the numbers. But I think that people bring numbers, so there has to be a new. The truth is that AI has come. But in the tech revolution, there has to be like evolving thoughts towards work-life balance. Men are tough nuts. Yeah, because I'm going to say this. I also battled it. I don't want to be misunderstood twice. If you misunderstand me once, it's okay. I take my L. I lock my door. I shut my window. You get the point. So we have to have like. Meetings, group meetings, sessions, therapy, things that can allow men be misunderstood once, twice, thrice. But because trust me, I don't want to holler, I don't want to cry. Why am I crying?
If it's never going to be properly addressed.
Yeah. So HR has to evolve for real. The future of work has to also evolve. I think those two things are very key.
So HR being more rather than just human as a resource.
Life
and
resource.
supporting the life of everybody in the company.
Yeah.
And
it's not hiring. It's not hiring anymore.
Yeah.
It's not about us finding the best people for a job.
Sustaining
the best people.
Sustaining. Also embracing innovation and then embracing the leveling up and then seeing how that can also support the aims. And then because people are the machine behind the business. Yeah. And then what's the last thing you said? Yes, you don't want to be misunderstood twice. And so when men are encouraged to speak up, that these things are addressed.
Yes.
Properly. If not, they just retreat.
And yeah, it's not about pride. It's because of their track records. We have been, you understand? Yeah. We've been trained by ego. We've been trained not to talk. We've been trained.
Lots of conditioning to break through, to be able to even speak.
So when a man speaks, if he's allowed to, please make sure the infrastructure is there to execute and support. Yeah.
Good. Okay. Now back to the women. How do you perceive the role of women in discussions about mental health, and how can workplaces as well foster a supportive environment for both men and women? Remember that at the beginning you said that, what it is right now is, whether you want to argue or not, it's just that right now women are receiving a lot of traction in terms of equity, opportunities. It's the age of women, basically. Yeah, it is, and I can't disagree.
It's a global thing.
Yes, there's a lot more awareness. I'm grateful to be alive in this time and age. I'm a woman, and it could be better, and hopefully we see that. But then, how can what role can women play to improve the discussions about men's mental health?
Now, if women want to actually help, so let's now say of women that really want to help, a woman has enormous power because women have less ego. So a woman can cut through men. Women cut through men easily, but the context, do they really want to help? Because they also have been abused, traumatized, So
sometimes by the same people they're trying to help, right?
So if we find a case where a woman really wants to help, she's in the best position to help. She's in the best position to help. There's a story. So let's just tell a story. There's a story of a guy called David who was hungry and went to go and get food from somebody, but the man said that he would give him food, and David came to kill the man, but the wife came up and said,
"Oh, I know that story, yes."
And the wife said, "Hey, my man is a foolish man."
Literally
said that. My man is a foolish man.
Literally.
And I'm being real with you. Yeah, it's actually a story that is one of the spiritual books. That women can calm men down. There's no ego. There's okay. Oh, why? Oh. Because of the hormonal things in us biology. Men, testosterone is an ego monster. Yeah, the biology is even. People have oxytocin, warmth, and all that, but your biology is different. So a woman can actually calm me. But like I said, the man are trying to calm you down. Man, in the past have traumatized you. So it's a nasty cycle. It's a very nasty cycle, and it takes like brilliant workplace framings and structures to get people to be at their best.
Right. Okay. Let's see the next question. I think it's our second to final question. Considering the discussions today, what key takeaways do you want our audience members to remember about promoting healthy men and a healthy world?
I think what I'll say is the consequence. What you are becoming is wrecking what you love the most. What you're becoming, and it's an interesting cycle. So if you can see it clearly, like, okay, if I change, I can save and preserve this. And I think that's how you can address it. Because men are logical, usually. So if you show them the consequence of their actions over and over again, if you do this, men are not as emotional as women. They be logical. They will be okay. Cause and effect. So you must show men the consequence and the possibilities. Not only the consequence. If you can do this, you can have this kind of symptoms. I think then there's an effort to try.
Thank you. Okay, let's see the
Final question.
Yes.
Honored.
Can you provide? Can you provide any resources men can go to for mental health support?
Yeah, so books, there are two people I think we should read. There's a person called Gabor Mate. Gabormate. He's a Hungarian psychologist. He's solid. Then for corporate organization, there's a guy called Adam Grant. He's an occupational psychologist. Solid. Okay. I've done a lot of works with them. I think men should also do, if you can find, and I won't give names because nobody's paying me, but if you can find like things about self-awareness, because most men are not aware of themselves. Most men are not self-aware, and once you're not self-aware, you might be triggering yourself for life. So self-awareness, trying to find, like, be aware of who you are. Finally, I've learned that clarity comes by engagement. Clarity, the more you engage, the more you begin to have clarity. So I've learned that if you can, don't escape, engage.
Sit with it.
But you have to be ready. Like, you have to look and be dizzy. When you look at your life, it's down. But the more, so there are a few things we did, my community. One was that we agreed that we're not like each other, we are for each other. Like, it was an agreement that
it's powerful.
We're not like each other, but like, anything we're together, and it was easy. It was easier. We're not like each other, but we're for each other.
Community.
Yeah, so I have a music business. I have a core team. We're four of us. I have a creative business. I have a core team. We're not like each other, but we're for each other. So that means we put that as the foundation. So if I come at you that this is wrong. You know deep down that you're for me.
You're still here.
Yeah, but you're not like me, oh. And they come at me too because I hate like numbers, I can be very spontaneous. They come at me strong, but I know that they are for me. That's it.
No, thank you so much.
Thank you.
That was the last question, I promise. Thank you so much for joining us today. And thank you to our very special guest, Dr. Foy. We encourage you to please look up the resources if you're struggling with your mental health, or not even struggling. I think you shouldn't wait till the point where you're struggling. You need to address it now. The best time to start is now. Being self-aware, finding community, finding strategies to actually deal with whatever issues that uniquely affect you is important. Also, please follow us at Stillert Holdings and our various subsidiary brands, Stillert Capital Finance, Stillert Construction, Tyrex PE on social media, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn. Thank you so much for joining us again. Have a lovely day.